Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Ryan Makes Sense, where we talk about personal finance, investing, and chart analysis. Today, we're going to look at a software biometrics company called AWRE Software. I first introduced this stock a few videos ago, just looking at a bunch of potential microcap companies that are positioned really well. We'll look at the financial data points on FinViz. We'll look at the website. We'll look at the products. We'll need to look at the CEO. And we'll try and get a better picture of what the technicals look like on a long-term basis. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button and jump right into this video. All right, so we are on finviz.com and we are looking at ticker symbol AWRE. This is AWRE Inc. So just really quickly noting the pattern on the daily, we can see that the stock price is acting like a magnet to the 20 and the 50 SMA. And it's in a weird, gosh, I forget what pattern this is called, but it's an odd pattern. Um, Looking down at the financial data points, let me just blow it up for you guys. Can you see it a little bit? Okay, so blowing it up, um, we can see everything that makes sense. So we have, let's just try and make a determination of the stock price really quick. So we have, let's do the bare minimum, which is going to be 15.9 million plus the cash that they have on hand. Look at that quick ratio. How much cash do you think they have? I'm going to say 15 million. I don't remember. 29 million. So 15.9 million plus the 29 million in cash minus the income. Normally it's plus the income, but this plus is a negative number, so plus minus 1.2. So that brings us to 43.7 million divided by the shares outstanding to the public, which is 12.74 million. And this is right here. The shares flow is the number of shares available to the public. So we're at a stock price of 3.43, which is about a 100% move from here. So makes sense. And then it's also, if we redo this calculation, but we add in the market cap, so we have 38.75 plus 15.9 plus the 29 million in cash minus the income. We normally would add it, but not in this case. Divided by the shares available of 12.74 and a higher price of a higher stock price of $6.40. Again, I will link the video up here or there on how I calculate stock prices. There's several different ways to do it. For microcap and small cap companies, this is generally the process. Also taking the market cap and sales plus income divided by 100. That gives us like the super lowest price of, this is like for stocks that are lower than a microcap. So bootstrap, I don't know. So they have 92.5% gross margins, which is amazing. Earnings per share this year, 237. Earnings next year is negative 257. So why are they saying that? I don't know. Maybe they lost a contract, but that is worth looking into. Earnings per share last 5 years is negative. Sales past 5 years is also negative. We do see insider buying and we do see just a smidge of institutional selling. Talking about institutional selling, I do just want to check in on institutional ownership. All right, so we are looking at the ticker symbol AWRE. We just want to look at the institutional ownership here. So there's 62 institutions that own this, and hedge funds, $11.7 million worth of institutional holdings. Over to the right, over here, we can see that it's pretty flat. And then going down. So John Stafford, we keep seeing him buy. He owns 21% of this stock. It's pretty good. We're going to do some research into John Stafford just because I want to know who he is. Going down, looks like we see a lot of trimming for tax harvesting. Morgan Stanley sold out a little bit. Bridgeway Capital sold out. BlackRock sold out a little bit. Renaissance Technology sold out a little bit. Vanguard sold out a little bit. So a lot of people are taking profits or uh, tax loss harvesting on this one. So nothing too groundbreaking there. Let's look at the website. Let's let that load in the background. But again, this stock appears to be undervalued, but let's let's look inside the book. Let's not look at the cover. Let's look inside the book. Let's go back to the income statement. All right, I need to move my head so you guys can see. All right. So revenue from 2020 is 11 million, 2021 16 million, and trailing 12 months is 15.9 million. So it looks like they're going to be pretty close to 2021, barely any growth. That is okay as long as the only reason they're not seeing growth is because they've expanded or used cash to acquire a company. We'll look deeper if we need to. Net income is significantly decreasing. This is amazing. If it goes at this trajectory of -7 to -5 to now -1, we should see positive in 2023. Don't take my word for it. Let's look at balance sheet. So they have 29 million in cash. That's cool. Total assets 48.37 million. Total liabilities 6.85. Assets dwarf liabilities by 8x. So that is really good. Long-term debt, nothing. Other liabilities 1.1 million. Excuse me. Short-term debt, nothing. Accrued expenses. Okay, so the accruing expenses. Okay, so nothing really red flaggy there. So this is the website. Again, 20 countries, 100 plus commercial leaders, 80 government agencies. So this is good. I like all this stuff. I really like, that they put that out in the front. Biometric framework. Okay, so one of their products is Knomi, Knomi, automated biometric identification system, ABIS, middleware, software as a service. Okay. Pretty cool, pretty good stuff. I like that offerings, identification, verification, identity management. A lot of good offerings, honestly. Industries, very cool. Oh, my head's in the way. Sorry. Um, Applications, enrollment. So like they've got plenty of good stuff. Careers, we want to see their careers to see if they're hiring a lot. And we're also going to look at their investor relations to look at their latest 10K. All right, while that loads, let's jump into Knomi, their product. Mobile onboarding. A lot of different layers here. Nomi D, Nomi S, Nomi Web. Um, so all of this looks pretty good, like in terms of a biometric software company. I'm just gonna exit out. Let's look at their careers. Two options here, not really exciting. Let's look at AWRE Inc. careers. So what happens a lot of times is companies will post sales positions or contract positions um, on third-party sites like Indeed, Glassdoor, LinkedIn. So let's look at like one of those. Indeed, yes. Okay. So jobs. So look at all these You're seeing all 23 jobs at AWRE. Okay. So, looks like these are all from 6 hours ago. And residential coordinator, is that part of AWRE Inc.? I think this must be a different company. Um, Unless they have biometric for homes? No, this can't be. Yeah, no, this isn't it. Close. Okay, that was close. How do I? So we thought we saw openings for the company, but it was for a different company. Oh goodness gracious. I need to remove this. Okay. AWRE Inc. Okay, Night Watch. That sounds, I mean, company. Here we go. There's so many different AWRE Incs. Oh my God. There's three different types of AWRE Inc. companies. I'm sorry, three. Not there's not three. There's way more than three. Um, so let's refine this. Where is this company located? They are in Massachusetts. What? These are in Massachusetts. No, that's not. That's Montana. Montana. Okay, we want Massachusetts. Massachusetts. Okay. Let's see what we get now. Here we go. Product marketing manager. That's more like it. Okay. So again, I mean marketing, that's great. So a little bit of growth there. Again, this company only makes 15 million a year, so I'm very hesitant to pull the trigger. Not really growing on or investing in jobs at the moment. Let's look at some SEC filings. I just want to open this in the background. Why is it so... Okay, it shows the form numbers. That's good. Here we go, 10Q. Okay, so let's open a PDF of that. All right. So while that is opening, let's just move on to our different portions here. John Stafford, who is this guy? Ooh, let's look him up on LinkedIn as well. So John Stafford is a Chicago-based trader. Stafford Trading. He sits on the board of several companies. So, um, okay. So looking at that, let's just go down and look at his trades here. So John Stafford. So, um, we can see he's pretty active. It looks like he bought a bunch of stock in XNCR. He bought 1.7 million around the $29 range, and he sold so much around the $40 range. Good for him. And then again down here buying in the 19s, 20s, and then selling a lot. Wow, in the 40s. So he seems savvy. Um, he's a savvy trader. That's what I'll say. Let's see if we can view more. Oh, we can't. So he's been investing in Aware since the stock was $5. He's got 2 million shares of Aware. Um, yep, he's got 5 million shares of Aware. So what does he know about Aware that we do not? I don't know, but maybe we can find him on LinkedIn. Let's look at the CEO. So here's Robert Eckel, the CEO. Okay, so he was a president and principal for, oh, he's still doing it. Strategic advisor on Evolve Technology. So this guy is all over. This guy's got a lot of experience. Okay. President and CEO Idemia. Oh my gosh. You guys, do you know what Idemia is? Oh my gosh. Biometrics. Okay. Look up Idemia and you will see that it is the most used software for biometrics in airports right now. So this guy has some connections with the government. Wow. Digimarc? I remember Digimarc. Okay. I mean, he's got great experience. Oh my gosh. I can't believe he was the president and CEO of Idemia for 6 years. That is crazy. I feel like I just learned something brand new. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here and look at Robert Eichel's position to Aware. That is crazy. And let's just pull this up. So I also want to see when did Robert become the CEO? 2019. Okay, so let's look at 2019. He became the CEO around here when the stock was around three-ish bucks. Okay, interesting. My head's not in the way. Perfect. Okay, going back down to find Robert. All right, Robert, I want to see you getting a lot of stock. Robert, 263,000 shares. All right. That was at purchase. That was not an options exercise. Okay. Where's your options plan here, Robert? I don't see it. Let's see if we can okay. Woo! Okay. Oh, that was Digimarc. Okay. Let's just look at Digimarc where Robert was. So Robert was the Digimarc CEO. I'm sorry, president from 2005 to 2008. 2005 to 2008, remember that. Let's go to Thinkorswim. Okay, let me remove all of this fun stuff. All right, 1 second. DMRC. DMRC. Is that right? Digimarc. Okay, 2005 to 2008. Right here. Oh my God, the stock was at $4 and eventually made it to 41. That's a 1,000% move. Okay, so Robert was part of Digimarc at the lowest part of this when the stock was the lowest, and it made a move to freaking almost 10x. Great job, Robert. Great job, seriously. Um, Digimarc right now is horrible. 30 million in sales, but they lose 55 million. Maybe they need Robert back. That's horrible. That stock should be a lot lower than where it is. Okay, so back to Aware software. Okay, so we have the 10K here. Okay. So Robert has just been buying, he's just been dollar cost averaging around, I mean, I don't know when these dates are specifically, but he's just been buying chunks whenever he can, it looks like. So March, August, September, October, November. So we should see Robert buy here pretty soon. So this is great. I love that he was the president and CEO of Idemia. That's huge because he has connections with TSA. So um, let's go back here. Okay, we have the 10K open, so we'll wait on that because that's going to be a whole deep dive here. So I'm liking the CEO a lot. I like how he kind of turned Digimarc around for a few years. The stock went from 4 to 44, huge. The CEO, Robert, is currently participating in stock purchases. He was buying at as high as $3.34, all the way down to $1.70. So, that's just some conviction there. John Stafford, the three, has 6 million shares. That's a little nuts. Um, yeah, I think this is good. We need to see why they are guiding so low next year. Let's go through this together. I'll blow it up so we can actually read it. A little too much. Here we go. Okay, so AWRE Inc., a leading authentication company, applying proven and trusted adaptive authentication to solve everyday business challenges with biometrics. Today reported financial results for the third quarter ending September 30, 2022. Generated revenue of $3 million, with recurring revenue increasing $300,000 in comparison to the first 9 months of last year to $7.1 million year to date. Launched AWRE ID, its leading edge multimodal software as a service based authentication platform, early in the fourth quarter at the Money 2020 Global FinTech Trade Show in Las Vegas. Kind of cool. Appointed a new chief revenue officer who will spearhead new revenue generating efforts that focus on growing top line revenue and expanding partnerships programs. That's good to know. Moved its company headquarters to state-of-the-art building in Burlington, Massachusetts, that is more closely aligned with modern hybrid working arrangements. Presented AWRE's premier biometrics-based solutions at Identity Week America 2022 American Digital Conference, Fabran Tech 22, and 2022 IAI Annual Education Conference, highlighting the company's unparalleled expertise in biometrics. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Commentary. Our revenue performance in the third quarter was impacted by the persistent macroeconomic headwinds that have elongated customer purchase decisions. So to break that down, customers are really kind of cutting the corners on biometrics, said Robert Eckel, CEO. Some of our existing and prospective customers were eagerly awaiting the commercial launch of our new offering, AWRE ID, which combines lightning-fast identity verification with world-class authentication. The initial feedback and interest in AWRE ID are encouraging, and we expect it to drive higher sales and recurring revenue in the future. Remember that. Along that line, AWRE ID marks another important milestone in our software as a service transformation, which continues to drive higher recurring revenue for our business. Okay, so breaking this down a little bit, the initial feedback and interest in AWRE ID are encouraging, and we expect it to drive higher sales and recurring revenue in the future. So, being devil's advocate, that is speculation because it is not something concrete. It is kind of forward-looking guidance. Okay, our top priority remains a strong execution of our multi-pronged growth strategy, which has solidified AWRE's foundation and positioned the company to drive scale and further expand into software as a service. Furthermore, as our transition to subscription-based business model remains ongoing, we are supported by a strong balance sheet with more than 31 million in cash, 29 million now, cash equivalents and marketable securities, and a robust pipeline of new opportunities. They do have 31 million in cash. Okay. Multi-pronged growth strategy, solidified awareness. So they do have a good foundation with 31 million in cash. They can really do a lot. So I agree. I think the company has a strong foundation, which is needed for small companies. Um, I'm still a little keeping this at arm's length because it's speculative so far. Moving on. We are focused on accelerating our expansion into the commercial software as a service market and bolstering recurring revenue through organic growth and a more focused enterprise sales team. Beautiful. That's what I wanted to hear. A key element of our go-to market strategy is partnering with strategic value-added resellers and integrated product resellers that can broaden the global reach of our dynamic biometrics-based solutions. Our new CRO, a proven leader with significant experience building effective enterprise sales teams, is implementing an enhanced go-to-market strategy bolstered by new customer success initiatives. With his emphasis on swift execution, upselling, and the development of a strong partner program, we expect to drive accelerated adoption of our AWRE ID offering and maximize our revenue generating opportunities. Okay, a lot there. A lot of really good stuff said by the CEO, and looking at the facts, they have 29 million in cash. They are expanding into the commercial market, bolstering recurring revenue through organic growth with an enterprise sales team. So I love this. I really do love this. Um, you know, so he's worked with Idemia, which is now a freaking global face identity biometrics company. There are some drawbacks to that, which I know he's probably taking into account here. Um, I know Idemia is not allowed in certain jurisdictions due to um, legalese. So, you know, I know the CEO understands that. Um, but building up this enterprise sales team, I wonder what the growing pains are going to look like in terms of scaling up and scaling vertically. Um, what does that look like? We don't really have a good sense because we're at the foundation. We've got the cash, we're growing the team, we've got the chief revenue officer. Um, so I'm just a little hesitant, but I really, looking at the CEO's experience, I trust him so far. We're going to look through the 10Q for keywords, so we'll get there in a minute. Third quarter 2022 financial results. Revenue for third quarter of 2022 was 3 million compared to 4.2 million in the second quarter of 2022 and 4.2 million same year ago period. The sequential and year-over-year decrease in revenue is primarily due to macroeconomic headwinds and customer orders that were postponed. Ooh. Dude. Okay, let's look at the fourth quarter. We want to get the fourth quarter really quick. Because we're looking at third quarter. Fourth quarter, I think, should be released by now. No. March. We're gonna get March. Okay. We're gonna get fourth quarter in March. Okay. Back to where we were. So we should be seeing some more sales in the fourth quarter. Net income for the third quarter of 2022 totaled 2.6 million or 12 cents per diluted share, which compares to the net loss of 1.3 million or negative 6 cents diluted share in the second quarter of 2022 and net loss of 1.6 million or 7 cents diluted share in the same period a year ago. Net income for the third quarter included 5.7 million one-time gain related to the sale of the company's building located. Okay, boring. I was I was hoping it was something better, but they sold the building and they made money on it. Good for them. Okay, adjusted EBITDA loss for the third quarter totaled 2.5 million compared to adjusted EBITDA loss of 0.8 million in the second quarter of 2022 and adjusted EBITDA loss of 1 million in the same year ago period. So that's good. The decrease was primarily due to lower revenues. So they lost 2.5 EBITDA third quarter 2022, but last year they lost 1 million. So they lost 1.5 million. So 1.5 million extra. So that's a bummer. Cash and cash equivalents and marketable securities totaled 31 million as of September 2022 compared to 25 million as of June 30. We completed the sale of our company's headquarters for 8.5 million and repurchased. They bought 75,000 shares in the company for $160,000. No comment yet. Let me see. $2.13. Okay. I mean, at the end, it just benefits shareholders. Why they decided to do it then and not now, given macroeconomic patterns, history, what's going on in the world. Maybe they are just very hot on the trigger because they understand where the company's going. Okay, 9-month 2022 financial results. Revenue for 9 months ended September 2020 was 11.9 million compared to 12.9 million the same year ago. The decrease was primarily due to macroeconomic headwinds and customer orders have postponed. Okay, so we're going to see a little bit of juice coming for quarter 4. Net income for the 9 months ended September totaled 31,000 or 0 diluted share. Adjusted EBITDA loss 9 months ended September was 3.9 million compared to the loss of 3 million last year. The decrease was due to lower revenue. Cool. Okay. Man, I'm liking this company the more I dig in. Cool. That's good. Blow this up for you guys. This is just a bunch of language. So what I want to look for here is bankruptcy. I want to look for repurchase program. I want to look for um, buyback shares, share ownership. I want to look at government contracts that are pending, and other things that could be pending. So they have 21 million shares available as of October 19, 2022. Yes, 21 right here, shares outstanding, but the shares available to the public is 12 million. Okay, so back to the 10Q. I'm going to get out of the company's website. So they have a table of contents. Okay, let's look at legal proceedings. What's going on here? So, are they in any litigation right now? We are not party to any lawsuits. So, no lawsuits currently, it looks like. Look at look at this. So, investing in our common stock involves a high degree of risk. Our annual report on Form 10K includes detailed discussion. Okay. So it looks like this is their share repurchase program. So we just did the math. They bought 75,000 shares. Was this what they were talking about? 75,000 shares at $2.13. So this is what they've got. So they have a lot. On March 3, we announced that our board of directors had approved the repurchase of up to 10 million worth of our common stock from time to time through December 1st, 2023. And during that time, during the 3 and 9 months ended September 22, they repurchased 75,407 shares and 76,561 thirds, respectively, under this plan. So they have up to $10 million of their common stock they can buy out through the rest of the year. That's big. No senior securities, no defaults. Okay. Let's go down to exhibits. It's a little laggy. I'm sorry about that. Honestly, just looks like a pretty cut and dry 10Q. I'm not. Okay. I, Robert Eckel, CEO, certify that I've reviewed this 10Q. Okay. Based on my knowledge, it does not contain any untrue statements. Okay. The CFO is saying the same thing. Boring but good. That's it. Let's just look for government. Nice. Okay, we have a bunch of hits. Okay, let's go to the very top hit. We're a global leader in biometric software offerings and solutions. Our portfolio enables government agencies and commercial needs to enroll. Perfect. Good for them. Let's look at the next government. We have been engaged in this business since 1993. Our comprehensive portfolio of biometric solutions is based on an innovative, robust products designed explicit integration. Principal government applications of biometric systems include border control, visa applicant screening, law enforcement, national defense, intelligence, secure credentialing, access control, background checks. Principal commercial applications include mobile enrollment, user authentication, identity proofing, and secure transaction enablement. That's Idemia. That's so close to Idemia. Idemia, buy this company out. Okay, next government. Our software products are used in government and commercial systems. We just heard that. Okay. In December 2021, we acquired 100% of outstanding shares in Fortress ID in exchange for $2.5 million in cash. Additionally, the purchase consideration includes a contingent consideration arrangement wherein the seller is entitled to cash payments of up to $4 million based on revenue targets in 2022 and 2023. The fair value of the contingent consideration was determined to be $900,000 at December 2021 and September 2022. It is included in the purchase price consideration. The acquisition of Fortress ID expands our offerings around identity proofing, enhancing its onboarding, verification, authentication, offerings to directly address financial compliance requirements and enable organizations to mitigate risk and curtail increasingly fraud. Great. Okay. Next thing. Results of operations. Software licenses consist of revenue from the sale of biometrics. Software license revenue decreased 63%. Okay. Where's the next keyword here? Our market strategies continue to focus on our legacy government biometrics. Okay, so just go. That's okay. So now, okay. I like this company a lot. Okay, they sold their building. Good for them. Liquidity. Here we go. We had cash of up to 31 million, which represented 1 million from, yeah. While we cannot assure you that we will not require additional financing or that such financing will be available to us, we believe our cash and cash equivalents will be sufficient to fund our operations for at least the next 12 months from the date of this filing and to meet our known long-term cash requirements. Whether these resources are adequate to meet our liquidity needs beyond that period will depend on our future growth, operating results, and the investments needed to support our operations. If we require additional capital resources, we may utilize available funds or additional external financing. To date, inflation has not had a material impact on our financial results. There can be no assurance, however, that inflation will affect our financial results in the future. So I want to look if there's any shelf offerings here. So this means that they can pull money from retail investors like you and I. Okay, so there are tons of offering hits, but not what I'm thinking yet. No, no, no. So no, let's look for dilution. Okay, let's look at shareholder. No. Share. Two words? No. Um, investors? No. Okay, let's go back. Uh, nothing. Our investments. So I'm just cycling through and not really seeing anything that shows. Okay, here we go. No, this is subscription agreements. Okay, in March 2022, currently with our entry into manual resale arrangement with Miracle Technologies Limited, we entered a subscription agreement with Omulus Limited. I can't talk. And Wales. Okay. We purchased 2.5 million of notes receivable that accrues interest at 5% annually. With a maturity date of March 11, 2026. Prior to maturity, we have the right to convert the note into securities issued in a future financing at 20% discount from the price per share paid by the investors in that financing. If the note remains outstanding on the maturity date, the note shall, at the option of the shareholders of the majority of the outstanding note, one, be converted into the most senior shares in Omulus by redeemed by payment cash note, and all accrued by unpaid interest remain outstanding. Okay, in connection with the sale of the note, Omlis granted us a right of first refusal for 18 months with respect to any proposed sale by Omlis of equity securities constituting 20% or more of outstanding voting power of Omlis or substantially all of the assets Omlis or any of its material subsidiaries. Also, in connection with the sale of note, Omlis issued the company a warrant that expires on September 11, 2023, which allows us to purchase up to 8% of the total equity in shares in Omlis at a price share of 8 or 33.91. Okay, let's see what Omlis is. Omlis stock. So it looks like it's a private deal. So I don't know if that's $33 is cheap or expensive at this point. Um, so I'm just going to continue thumbing through. What's this? Oh, coronavirus. Caron. Okay, so investing in our common stock involves a high degree of risk. Our annual report on our Form 10K for the year ending 2021 includes a detailed discussion of our risk factors under the heading Risk Factors. There have been no material changes from such risk factors during the 3 months ended September 2022. You should consider carefully the risk factors discussed in our annual report on the Form 10K for the year ended December 2021 and all other information contained or incorporated by reference in the quarterly report, the 10Q. Before making an investment decision, if any of the risks discussed in the annual report on the 10K or herein actually occur, they may materially harm our business, financial condition, operating results, cash flow, growth prospects. As a result, the market price of our common stock could decline. Yes, that is true. Okay, so let's go back to the site really quick and let's look at the 10K risks. Company, investors. I wonder if there's a risk portion in here too. Risk. There's a bunch. Risk factors. Oh, I just saw it. Risk factors. Here we go. Oh, so these are the risk factors. There's nothing here. Okay, that's good. Sorry, I'm out of picture. Company. Let's go to investor relations again. Okay, let's look at the 10K. Welcome. Okay. Financials, yes. So we want the form 10K. Show 50 pages and 10Q. There's an 8K, but I don't. 10Q 8K. Okay, so I think the risk factors listed were the only ones, but let's. I don't think the 8K. No, the 8K is just like an amendment, I think. I don't think 8K is anything that has to do with risk factors. Yeah, it's just a press release. Okay. Okay, so I mean, I'm not seeing any red flags, which is a red flag. I'm just kidding, it's not a red flag. Okay, has this company ever done offerings or dilution offer? No, they haven't. Okay. Dilution? No. Okay. Man, I really like this company, you guys. I'm nervous that it only makes 15 million, but like the CEO said, they're at the ground floor. They're building out their enterprise sales team. Um, the CEO is so familiar with Idemia. He worked with Idemia. There's no debt. I mean, I don't know what else we could ask for. Let's look at the technical analysis and let's start with a fresh, brand new chart. All right, so we are looking at Thinkorswim and we're going to perform some technical analysis here. So what we're going to want to do as a baseline is we're going to want to look at all of these supports that the stock has ever touched. We're going to look at the resistances, the areas that this stock has had a hard time gaining, and also some potential patterns that we might be able to see, on the monthly chart. And then also looking at the momentum and RSI on the monthly and the yearly. So without further ado, I'm just going to hide myself to make this a little bit smoother, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. So this is what the stock looks like. The CEO joined the company around here. Robert Eckel 2019. But this company's just kind of been stagnant for about 20 years. So this was dot-com bubble hype stock, it looks like. And it kind of has just never really um, transformed into anything. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here in terms of a pattern, but like I said, let's do the supports and resistances first. So we can see there is a lot of support right here. I'm just going to go all the way back. So we can see right here support, here's support, and then over here support. The stock price has never closed on the monthly below this line over 20 years. And in terms of the stock price breaking above a certain point, we could say here, over the last 20 years, but I think I want to be more inclusive and I want to include the last few spikes. So we can see just based off of this, the stock closed over here once, but let's just zoom in. It was able to close over here once, one month, but then it closed down the next. 1 month, closed down the next. So we never really had more than 1 month close above that resistance. I'm liking this here. We can see there's resistance here, resistance. A little bit, it's a little choppy around here, but as we go down, we have resistance, 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 resistance. A little choppy. Again, it closed up 1 month, fell down under. Resistance, 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 down at the bottom. So, that's one thing we can note there. The price has never closed 1 month above 659. Good to know. Let's look at the bottom now. Every time the stock has touched this support, the stock has always touched 659. So we have, let's just make this easy. So here and then here with another double tap over here. And then we have it going down to here again. We got here, and then we got a double tap, triple tap, quadruple tap. It just could not break it. And now we're back down here. So if we are a person of patterns, we can say every time it bounces off the support, it goes back up. Are we in a different place than we were last time over here? Yes. So 2019, we had Robert join here. We had a little spike and back to normal. Okay. So I'm going to remove all those bubbles because they're a little distracting. Whoops. It did not remove the bubbles on the chart. Here we go. Okay. Removing those. Let's just stay focused on this area because that other portion of the chart does not, I mean, it does give us some perspective. So if we do this, 87.13, all the way down to this spike right here, we can see, let's activate it. We can see this does not really do anything for us. So again, the stock, it just really doesn't do much for us. So I'm going to remove that just because it's distracting. So let's look at patterns here. And one thing that I kind of see right here is a falling triangle. So we have this here. We could go all the way down to here and we see a bunch of resistance. So the reason I went to here is because we can see this candle closed right below it. It tried to break above it, but it couldn't. This candle did close above it and then it fell back through. So it is recognizing it as a form of resistance. Next, we could see lower lows than we're seeing now. And I'm just basing this off of this. So several ways we can go. We could go right to here. I'm kind of leaning towards like right here. So the reason I like this line here, we have support, tons of support, more support, and we've actually turned into resistance now. Resistance, resistance. So as I was speaking, I don't know if it was this video or another video, but one of the potential patterns in a falling triangle is a throwback before a large sustained move back. So what I want to do now is I want to use the Fibonacci arcs, and this is going to give us kind of a measurement from our highest high to our lowest low. And we're going to see if these prices respect these Fibonacci arcs to some degree. I think they do. Yeah. So we have support on this candle. You guys can see my screen. Here we have resistance, resistance, resistance. It's kind of getting away. Resistance, resistance tries to break above it. Resistance. And if we look at the second inner ring, we can see it acts as resistance here, resistance. Breaks up through, support, resistance. Kind of acts as resistance there. This third ring, support, support, resistance, support, support, resistance. I don't know if that's support or resistance. Resistance, support, 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 resistance. And we're back in here. So this is a good Fibonacci arc. We like this arc. We're going to keep this arc. So going down here, we can see we are heading towards our second half of this arc. Let's make this beautiful for viewing pleasure. Okay. So we're outside of this pattern and we might be setting up for a bear flag where we have a flag pull. And the flagpole is going to look like this. And I'm just going to make it a different bright color to, it is going to be a bearish. So let's do this. There's our flagpole, and then here is our flag. And this is not a bullish pattern, by the way. This is bearish, so we could have some more downside. So again, the downside here would lead to basically the throwback being extended further. So we could see the throwback potentially, let's get out of here. I'm going to remove this bear flag because it's in the way. Let's make this a little bit easier on the eyes. Perfect. Okay. That looks great. So in terms of a throw back, again, that angle is still, dang it. I'm gonna have to fix that. In terms of this long downward channel, I mean, this is about as ugly as it's gonna get in terms of the range that it's in. So we'll see if we see a bear flag, we'll see the price come down probably within this area. So we'll see some resistance here and then coming back down. So, I mean, because it's still just a $15 million company. revenue, sorry. So again, I like this company. I like where it's at in terms of where it's going to go, but the data we have is more of speculation. It's not really concrete, and we don't really want to base our investments off of something that's not in cement yet. One thing I will say is, given the sales and market cap and the shares available, this stock is close to what was our calculation? 14 mil plus the cash that they have. So I mean, anywhere between $1.72 and $1 is really good. Um, and then looking at the FinViz pattern, I mean, it looks like it's just being gonna be pinched downward. So I would wait for this stock to fall. There's that. So let's look at the momentum now. Do do do. All right, so we want to see momentum turning in a big way once everything loads. Okay, so here we are. Momentum is turning here. Look at this. A big buy here. What was that all about? Let's look at that candle. Let's push these down. That was the bottoming candle pretty much. A lot of people stepped in to buy here at 1.5 million, but that's not that much. Um, a lot of buying, a little bit more buying, a lot of red in here. So the CEO came in over here, a little excitement. We see these little greens, then just selling, 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 selling. And we see this long-term momentum changing here, which is good. Let's look at the yearly chart. Okay, the yearly chart is showing, oh, downtrend. Okay, so 2023 might not be the year. Oh, you know what? The third, head and shoulders. So we have a shoulder, left shoulder, head, rounding for the right shoulder. So you know what? This could be huge momentum swing if this happens to be what I think it is. Um, so I mean, nothing is screaming buy, buy, buy. But I mean, in terms of like, if you're trying to get into a stock where the company believes in themselves, the CEO has a good track record, this does not look bad. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of people bought and then just held and sold. I mean, I think this is the time to get into this company if you're going to hold it. If you want to hold this for years, I think this is okay. But if you're trying to do a Robinhood challenge and show people you can beat the market, might not be it. But I might add this to my personal holdings just because I have that time resource. But I mean, this is going to be a good Robinhood one once we get this momentum switched. So interesting play here. Let's look at our buy and sell. So buy at 303, sell at 332, that's 10%. Buy at 313, sell at 380. Um, not quite. So yeah, I mean this is gonna be a close call. We're at 267,000 shares and we're already halfway through January. So pretty weak volume. I think we'll see better deals next month in terms of stock price. But in terms of company execution, I think we have to look and see what quarter four is going to bring for us in March. Um, but hey, I like this. I like the company. Not bad. I want to see a little bit more of a discount here before I buy. Um, so yeah, I think overall this company looks good. It's just going through the initial stages of being set up with the new CEO and the new sales team. The CEO does have great extensive experience in the biometrics area. But I think that's all I got for you guys. Whoops. So, that's all I've got. I wish it was more clear cut and easy to say as this is going to be a steal of a deal or not. Based on the 15 million and the shares, it's around $1. Quarter four is coming up. We have, the Chicago-based trader John Stafford buying. He has 6 million shares. So that's the thing as well. He's been buying for a while and he's accumulating. So I think if you have the patience and cash to accumulate, it's worth the buy, in my opinion. If you're going to hold for 1 to 5 years, I would buy this in my 1 to 5 year range, but not yet for my Robinhood portfolio, just because more downside could be imminent. And I'm just kind of trying to outperform the market here. So, with that, my final words are I will probably add this next month to my personal portfolio. Um, we should see some quarter four boosts because of the postponements, but if they get postponed to Q1, it's annoying. But anyway, with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Um, and yeah, if you want to chat about it, if you have any your own questions or comments, feel free to leave me a note and I will get back to you. But with that, I hope you guys have a good night or day. Bye.